So in the meantime, I am, in the room. Nick actually stepped outside the room to have the conversation with the doctor, which was wonderful. Even though I heard kind of a tiny bit of what was going on, I just trusted that Nick knew what he was doing and had practiced and knew what to say, and I was able to just focus on my task and trust that he was going to take care of the situation. Specifically, the doctor was having a problem with the idea that I didn't want to have a cervical exam to see how far along I was. And I'm really glad I didn't have to. Because at the point I was, I just don't even know. I know people do it, but I just don't even know how I would have sat still for an exam like that, even just for 30 seconds. So yeah, in the meantime, I'm kind of, again, on my knees, hanging over the back of the bed, having pretty, my surges are real close together, and Alicia said, hey, why don't you try standing up? So I got off the bed and stood up and kind of leaned over the side, and that's when I felt like, oh, the baby is going to come out. This is the right position to be in. So the midwife, like Nick said, the midwife came in. There were a few, one part of our birth plan was that the lights would be dim. So it was the middle of the night, so there was very little light in the room. It was pretty dark. And especially in the position that I was in, the midwife couldn't really see to deliver. So she was asking me to move or turn on the lights, get back in the bed. She also was having trouble when I was in the standing position because it just wasn't comfortable for her to, see what was going on and catch the baby. So Alicia was awesome. She's like, why don't we get you a stool? So she grabbed a stool for the midwife and she said, this is great, this will work. But then there was still the light issue.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell that story?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Long story, I'll try to make it short. But essentially, first date I took my wife on, we went hiking. Way back. Took her hiking, and we went up to like a water tower to look at the view, and I brought a headlamp, and my wife made fun of me, and she thought I was a nerd, and so it's kind of always been a running joke. An endearing nerd. An endearing nerd. Yeah. It was kind of always a running joke that Nick always has a headlamp. So we're at the hospital and the midwife can't see, and I go, hold on, I got something for you. So I run to my little hospital bag and I pull out my headlamp. And so I give it to the midwife. And the midwife ended up delivering our son using my headlamp. And so I felt very redemptive, full redemption on my headlamp nerdiness. And the best part was my wife didn't really know it was my headlamp until afterwards. And she's like, wait, our son was delivered with your headlamp? So I felt pretty good about that.